It's the morning, Joe and the Pro. I'm having a triple grande latte today because I was up till about 4 a.m. Oh my God. Where's the pinky? No, oh my God. Anyway, we've got two guests today. The legendary Dave Cokin, and I don't use that word lightly. I mean, this is like one of the Mac daddies of sports handicapping. It does help that he's about 90, so just straight longevity does really enhance the legendary status. And this other guy, Dave, with no disrespect to you or I feel like we should call this show Two Old Guys and a Stud.
I'll take it.
Look, those days are behind me, so sure, it's all right with me.
I mean, look at this. Dude, you even got pecs. I feel like I should ask you to just take your shirt off and flex, man.
I know you're not talking to me.
No.
My wife wouldn't like that. I'll leave it. Let's leave it like this.
Here's how old I am. I don't even have good dreams anymore. I dream about food now. It's just.
You know what?
For me, it changes.
For me now, if I have a hangover or something, it takes me a long time to come back. It used to be, next day. Now I'm like Saturday. It's like a good Wednesday, and I'm like, all right, I feel back to normal.
Yeah,
my last hangover was in the mid 1990s. I'm not making that up either. I still remember it. It was just brutal. Wednesday night, out with a girl, we were drinking kamikazes, and. I don't remember Thursday. I think I slept through the entire Thursday. So did she. I had a Friday business meeting at a restaurant named Cafe Michelle, which is no longer in existence here. I was still hungover on Friday from the Wednesday night deal. And that's the last time I've ever gotten a hangover because I decided, I was in my 40s at that point, and the body was just telling me, you can't do this anymore, and so I don't.
Yeah, well, Dave, I think the moral of the story is the kamikazes part. There's way too much sugar in that drink.
She wanted to listen.
What was she? 18?
No. She was kamikazes were a popular drink back then, and she wanted kamikazes, whatever she wanted. Based on what was going to take place that night.
No, I get it. Whatever she wants makes sense.
I like kamikazes, but I never liked. I don't like sweet drinks, but she wanted kamikazes. She wanted me to have kamikazes. Seemed like a good trade-off.
And you never did look like Kyle, so you pretty much had to just agree to drink whatever the hell she drank.
I freely admit I've never met Kyle before, and I hate him.
Yeah, I'm feeling the same way, man.
This is starting off great.
I'm feeling the same way. Anyway, well, let's introduce Kyle. He is our UFC expert. Goes under the banner of Mr. UFC. Do you wear the tights?
Only when I rewatch video. That's it. That's the only time.
So a few days ago, we had Carmine Bianco on, and he's got like a crazy buffed head. I asked him if he buffs. It seems to me like you're just buff all the way down, dude. Like, do you shave twice a day?
No. This is, I normally let it go a little bit, but just for you and just for today, I let it, I cleaned myself up nice today.
I think
what's the workout regimen?
It's like 4 days a week, maybe, somewhere around there.
Dave, I work out a hell of a lot harder than Kyle. I'll tell you that flat out. There's a bicep. But I'm 49 years old, so it doesn't actually appear like I work out. Oh, yes.
This is my workout.
Yes.
The 12 ounce.
My thumb is in better shape than in either of yours. The rest of me, well.
Okay, well, we better get to it because some of our listeners can't stand the banter. Others love it. I actually don't care because if I don't enjoy doing the shows, I'm not going to do them. So long story short, we're going to talk to Dave first. He's got an NFL play free pick for tonight to give out. He's also got a college football free pick tonight. And then every Thursday, we're going to have Kyle the Stud on our show to talk UFC. Dave, before we get into that, brother, you have been absolutely rolling like always. one of these days we got to have a show, just me and you, where we can talk about, just your history in this business, because it's utterly ridiculous. Right now in college football, you are plus 46% return on money, bankroll-wise, 61%, just amazing stuff. And you've got a big play, I think it's for this Saturday, right? A 5-unit play for Saturday?
Yeah, I've got 2 plays posted at WagerTalk right now. No, 3 actually. One tonight, a 5% on Saturday, and then another game in the Pac-12 on Saturday. I'll probably be adding some games for those who buy the packages, the all-access. I won't sell them individually, but they'll be all-access. And you get the 5% play when you buy those packages as well. And that's on a Mountain West game that I like quite a bit. The NFL's been really good lately too, so hopefully it continues.
Yeah, and really quick, I just want to give out a promo code for Dave. You could get the next 7 days of all of his plays for only $49. Use the promo code Dave49. I'm sure everyone can spell Dave, but I am talking to a lot of Americans. So it's Dave. That's Dave49. A full week of all of his plays. Dave, let's get to it. Tonight's game, Seattle hosting Green Bay. I mean, I really look at this game as basically an elimination game. I think
so. Yeah.
We're going to start to see a little bit of separation with all those 4-5, 5-4, 4-4 teams. The Atlanta and Seattle, Green Bay, Philadelphia, Dallas. It's going to be really interesting, and especially with Minnesota and Chicago playing against each other this week, because Minnesota could come down to the pack. So this really, this is an absolute must-win game. We've seen Aaron Rodgers step up in these type of spots before, but same with Russell Wilson. I think it's a super interesting matchup. I really am struggling to pick a side, but I would lean on Green Bay. But I am going to watch this game. Why don't you tell us what your thoughts are?
Well, I'll tell you what, the projections that I make, and I'm sticking strictly with those right now as far as the NFL is going, because they've been really good. And the games I'm playing have to have a 3-point differential from the line on my projections. So this one didn't quite make it. The line's 3. I've got Seattle 5, so it's an edge to Seattle. You can build a good case for Green Bay here, but I'll build a couple of cases against them. One is these Thursday night games, it's been big advantage home team. These short turnarounds, especially with neither team having a bye last week and then having to travel, it's been a real problem for the visiting teams. And the Packers are 0-4 on the road this year. They have not won a game away from Lambeau. And in fact, that losing streak on the road goes back to last year. The Seahawks, I thought, played a terrific game against the Rams and should have won that game. They know what's at stake here. You said it already. It's a must-win for them. They're 4-5. If they get to 4-6, you can pretty much forget it, because they'd have to win 6 in a row to have a chance to get a wild card. But Green Bay, that tie could really play into a problem for them later on, because they dropped to 4-5-1 if they lose this game. And with 2 teams that would be ahead of them in the NFC North, it's going to be very difficult for them to make it. If you look at the Packers, you say, boy, that looks like a quality team that should be in the playoffs. But the fact is, right now, they're a 500 team that's not, and they really need this win. I lean Seattle, just not strong enough to play it.
Yeah, I can't come up with anything strong enough to play either. And while you were talking, I was just checking out Kyle's V-neck. I want you to see, I have a V-neck too. And Dave, I want you to know it's only guys with pecs, like the gym rats, that pull these V-necks off. I kind of think your hoodie's a bit V-necky, so I'm going to include you in there. I'm
trying to listen to some great advice, and
I look like the poker player. If he had a beard, I'd look like Phil Locke right now.
Yeah, the Unabomber. Dave, college football Saturday. Do you have a free pick for us?
Well, yeah, this is an interesting game, and I might end up putting this out as a play. At the very least, it's a strong lean right now, and that's on the Iowa State-Texas game. Iowa State's the best 3-loss team in the country. I mean, have they gotten good. And the key has been the coaching of Matt Campbell. This guy is going to get some big offers at the end of the year. Iowa State's going to have to try and lock him up because he might be on USC's wish list. If Urban Meyer doesn't come back to Ohio State, I think he probably is the front runner for that job. So I don't know if the Cyclones are going to be able to keep him. Of course, Brock Purdy is the other big story for the Cyclones. He's taken over at quarterback, and he looks like a seasoned veteran. He's got a great arm, real cool head on his shoulders. He's played well. Now, Iowa State's going to be without their best running back for the first half of this game because he had picked up a 1.5 suspension because he got a second unsportsmanlike conduct penalty in last week's game, that brawl that took place. So we'll have to overcome that. But at this point in time, Iowa State is simply the better team here. They're better in my power ratings. Neutral field, I can grab the number here just so I don't sound like I'm talking through my head. It's nice having all this stuff right next to me. Iowa State, on my numbers, neutral field is 2.4. So you're adding in about 4 points for home field. So it's very small edge for Texas. Not enough to cover the spread. There's no way I'd be on Texas side here. It's close on the numbers. Is there enough of an edge to play Iowa State? I don't know. Maybe not on the numbers, but I think when you add in the fact they're just playing at a higher level than Texas right now, that's big. Because one thing to point out here, they played a lousy game last week against Baylor. They got outgained. Baylor blew 2 red zone opportunities. But Iowa State still found a way, even on what was clearly not their best day, to win the game by 2 touchdowns against a team that's, I think, not that far away from Texas. So I would look at Iowa State Iowa State plus the points in this game.
Thanks, Dave. And remember, guys, he's got a 5-unit play up at WagerTalk.com for Saturday in college football. He is probably one of our best college football handicappers this year. And over the last 12 months, Dave, you, myself, Cal Sports, Dwayne, Bryan, we're all close to around plus 200% on our bankroll across all sports. It doesn't get much better than you. I love that you've joined us, my friend. You're also the host or co-host of our daily ESPN show in Las Vegas. An incredible add to our team. We're lucky to have you. Make sure to use the promo code DAVE49 for a full week of Dave Cokin's all sports plays. And now we're going to move over to Kyle.
By the way,
yep.
I'll point out the Dave49. That's my age that you.
No, Dave. That's actually at this point how you do a 69. You're like, I'm too old, lady. We're doing a 49.
Yes.
I can't reach. My back's so I can't reach. I'm going for the belly button. We're calling it a 49.
I probably hurt myself doing that. Let's hear some UFC.
Yeah, Kyle, I love how when you're talking to us, you're like, chin's a little, you're so polished, dude. There's no under chin going because you got a nice little tilt. There's a glisten on your face. You're actually sickening me. I'm usually
I'll go for my pick nice and quick for you.
I'm usually the handsomest guy on these shows. Okay,
right.
dude. UFC card. Really quickly, tell us about you and what you do at WagerTalk. What the customers can expect from you. If we had any women listening, would they get a date with you? I'm keeping you away from Kelly.
That's gonna be next to my this weekend, my best bet play. It's gonna be a certain purchase for a date. Just something extra. That's all we're gonna have. All right, so this weekend there is an event, but overall I have been around the 69-70% winning percentage with all of my best bets have been minus 190 and lower. So last week I had Yair Rodriguez, who was a plus 120. probably knockout of the night. Was an unbelievable fight. I've had Tyron Woodley, the defending champion. He was a plus 125 and got that victory as well. And I also even had Khabib Nurmagomedov this year to beat Conor McGregor. That was a minus 150. So all those are, you can take a look at them, take a look at some of my past plays, but all of them are going to be that. And that's what I want the customers and the people that are thinking of purchasing it or who have what to expect when they buy. They'll see a very long write-up on one play. And I'm not a high volume like you guys. You guys have more volume. For me, it's 2 to 3 plays every card. And I'm mostly allotting for the money that I allot per event. I allot about 70%, 80% to my best bet play. And then about 20% of that's going to parlays, a value play, which I'm about to talk about. So that's kind of how I'm tiering my plays on each event.
Okay, so let's get into this card this week. I love the UFC, and I'm big into it. And believe it or not, Dave and Kyle, I know you can't tell, but I used to be a competitive fighter, black belt in judo.
Wow.
Won the Canadian National Championships when I was around 14, and then I met women in weed. And that was that was the end of my fighting career. Okay, enough with me. Kyle, take it away.
So this weekend it's UFC Fight Night 140. And the play that I like this week is going to be between Darren Elkins, who's 24-6, against Ricardo Lamas, who is 18-7. And in this fight here, you take a look at him. You got Lamas, who is 36. And you've got Elkins, who's 34. But the big part here for me, actually, I'll give the odds. Elkins is a plus 165, and then you've got Lamas, who is a minus 190. So in this fight here, the big thing for me is the momentum. Lamas right now, he has been a staple in the division, doing extremely well. And over the last 7, he's 3-4, and he's 0-2 out of his last 2. So he's kind of been on the decline. He's a great fighter. He's done very well. But you take a look at Elkins. Elkins is 6-1 out of his last 7. And his last fight was against Alex Volkanovski, who Volkanovski is a rising star in the UFC. He's doing exceptionally well. He's very well-rounded, strong guy. So he ended up beating Elkins. But here, I think the pressure from Elkins, I think that he's going to have a lot to really work with his ground game and his durability. I think is really going to push Lamas against the cage. And I think it's going to be tough. I think it's going to be a very close decision victory for Elkins. I think he squeaks it out in the co-main event of Saturday night.
I just wanted to mention that I was not familiar with Ricardo Lamas, but I do know Fernando Lamas. Now,
I know Lorenzo Lamas.
That's the son of Fernando Lamas.
Lorenzo Lamas was a stud. But speaking of
the old man was one of the original Latin lovers.
Let me tell you guys.
Oh, he was. He was awesome.
I just want to say, Kyle, you were talking. I was gazing into your eyes.
Oh man!
And then my beautiful female, delicious woman walks in the middle of the show.
A cameo.
Yeah, and look at this guy. I mean, it's like not even fair. But you know what's not fair? This is
looking at him a bit. Oh, okay.
Viv, Kyle, Viv.
How are you? Nice to meet you. This is awkward, but it's nice to meet you.
It's not awkward for me.
So
it's never. I'm with him. It can't be much more awkward, right?
So, you know what I was thinking, Dave, is that like you read the comments with Kelly, and it's like, you're so hot. There's nothing hotter than a woman who talks sports. I'm not feeling like Kyle is going to get a whole lot of these type of comments.
Probably.
Like, I'm not thinking that the girls are like, he's so hot and he talks UFC. Oh my God. The fact that Kyle can talk UFC just makes him extra hot. Yeah. It's not going to work that way. But yes, it's good to know that WagerTalk has got a grandfather in a loudmouth, arrogant, narcissistic pig. Marco, Brian, and Ralph, 3 incredible eaters, and Kelly and Kyle, our studs. What a team.
Good. Yeah, I'm fine with being put on Kelly's level. I'm fine with that. I'm okay with that.
Okay, boys. Awesome show. Kyle, we'll see you every Thursday.
Sounds good.
Dave, thanks so much for joining us, man. Like, honestly, it's such a pleasure having you as part of our team. Guys, awesome shows, super fun. Kyle, next Thursday we'll do it wearing our UFC tights.
Yes.
And lastly, Kyle, what's up with the espresso? Are you Italian?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Yeah, only Dave, do you drink espressos?
Decaf.
There's so much goodness.
I'm not kidding.
Much goodness in this little cup.
I can only have 1 cup of coffee a day now, which I did about 2 hours ago, and after that, it's decaf. So decaf cappuccinos, decaf espressos. It's goddamn pathetic.
Oh, Dave, hugs from both of us, brother.
It's tough getting old.
Yeah, well, we all get old at the same pace. Anyway, thanks for having us. This was Morning Joe and the Pro. Tomorrow we've got Marco D'Angelo with us, one-on-one with my co-founder and partner. We should do that show over lunch.
Or breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Why not?
I know they call that brunch, breakfast and lunch. Is there, for Marco, is there like a bruniner or something? And
here's what you want to do. Now Marco won't know about this.
He ain't watching the show.
No, he's not. Okay.
You can talk about him.
Do the show with just like a plate of ribs or something.
Yeah, just tease him.
Just watch him.
Eat ice cream.
Drooling while he's handicapping kids.
Yeah. Foam coming out of his mouth. Funnest show to date, boys. We'll see you next Thursday. Thanks so much.
All right.
Be well, and we'll catch up later.